strong. Yes, His love in me heart. Dirty up me name around tongue. I do them no wrong. Jaja have we back. And I shouting, oh Lord, I'm thankful. Oh Lord, I'm thankful. It's you who give me health and strength. Oh Lord, I'm thankful. It's you give me the handful. Every day you're blessing me. Only it on back and it's nothing we nature. Money in we pocket. This life I want love it. Only it on back and it's nothing we nature. Food on we table. I good than I ever. We can jump up and way.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Blessings, blessings to everyone. Another day, a Friday, and usually I am not on a Friday. I've negotiated previously with management to just take it easy on this day, especially through the month of Ramadan, where I am fasting. You know, we stay away from eating and drinking. We stay away from relations with our wives. We stay away from the other wrongs that we are not supposed to do during the normal course of life. But we try even to a greater extent to stay away from that during this month as a form of purification, as a form of discipline and self-control, and as a form of giving thanks to the Creator, giving thanks to the Almighty who has given us life. So we start off as we always start off with a word of thanks and a word of praise, greetings and blessings, and the lines are open for you all to call in and do such. 342-0081 4665391. We are thankful. We are thankful, and Farmer Nappy outlines some things that we are thankful for. You know, we're thankful for life. We're thankful for food on our table. You know, some money in our pocket, if I heard the song correctly. And we want Trinbagonians to be able to be thankful. We want everyone within our society to have some food on the table, to have a little money in their pocket, to be able to live and appreciate life. We want to add value to people's lives. We want to give them hope. We want to encourage them to work and to stay on the right path, to do what is correct, you know, what is legal and correct, and be able to live. And be able to live. We always said, and I said on the program before, if you make the right thing difficult, if you make the straight path difficult, then it makes the wrong path easier. It becomes more attractive. And we are lying to ourselves, and we are lying to the youths of our society if we come and we say that the straight path, the correct thing, is not challenging in this society. I'm not saying that we encourage them to go the crooked way, but when they carefully analyze the straight path, we have not presented it to be attractive to them. We have not presented it to be attractive, and we must now do that work. We must now do that work and set that example to attract them to what is straight and what is good. So, as I said, the lines are open. I know people aren't accustomed to Fridays having the program, and we're trying to extend that awareness that we are on Voices of the Street. So tell a friend, share the live. The YouTube is also back up and running. I hope whoever violated community guidelines last time, I hope they don't do it again. Good morning.
Yeah, hello. Morning, doctor.
Morning. Give us the greetings, man.
Bless President, the most high. I have so much to tell us what it is, but you see, they have some songs are doing. What happened? I did want to ask you if I could come and link you in the morning up in town up there. But I had to fix my car. I had to get some things done on the car. Just trying.
I want to hear your music, I want to hear your songs,
Yes, this is exactly what I want to lay here.
You singing them?
Yes, I just sing. I sing soca, I sing down to chutney, anything I could sing. Reggae, dancehall, chutney, calypso, anything I could sing.
Use Marshall Montano.
Yeah, it's me totally answer music. When it comes to Jesus Christ.
Morning, Marshall Montano, calling to the station this morning. Right,
yeah.
Nice to have you locked on to 91.9 FM. Right, tough luck.
Do that.
Well, I want to be Marshall on the line. You singing everything?
Anything I could sing. Anything.
Right. All right.
Yeah. Queen Omega, right, who big up all over Europe and things right now. We grew up singing, she used to back up all the songs. And, oh gosh, it's about next artist too, real big a female. But I'm glad how we are on Friday and all. We need this. We need more truth and knowledge to be expanded in the universe. There's too much things going on. We in a mental slavery. We believe we aren't free from change, so we celebrating freedom. But if there are no freedom to celebrate it, as you and I know, right? The secret society have us in a place where we don't even know, we don't even know if it's a secret society. People who are actually running the earth, we just call them the 1% now. They are saying they infiltrate the black man culture, take it over, and one of the main reasons why they have us like this, they don't want we to know stolen legacy where they're running the whole of humanity. Stolen legacy, they learn mathematics, science, almost everything from we. But though, you know what I think?
Yeah.
God give we that science and technology ideas for a while. Because you see, the immortality that we was born to have, we don't have it because of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We left us to live with. Remember, he locked away the tree of life, which I know is Jesus Christ. When he come on earth, we didn't understand, right? That is the tree of life. So, and he command to, you see when you're too command, right? They just take you for a party show kind of thing now, boy. I don't know why black people does move so. Right? Black people don't look up to one another and try to help one another reach on the top. But right now, I have my eye on the European nation, them doing it, because them always believe black people would have come out this kind of slavery that they put in. They know it had too much evidence. That's why they try to blow up all these things and them knows, because they don't want we to know about this level of greatness. All I explain to see, what all the ancient monument, the nose blow off, because they don't want to know the nose big. So it's all these things I know, them know that still in existence, right? The most magnificent civilization is what we create, and them know that. So that would inspire we back. So that is one of the things why they make this big underground chamber, a big underground library in the Vatican, acres underground with all the artifacts and books and this and that.
Yeah.
But the Almighty God has something better for we. I believe He'll give we back this gift of immortality. For all the things we go through, He'll give we back this gift. And
right, let me leave it there. I hope so as well. I hope that we are able to to refine ourselves, refined, not just refine, but to refine ourselves, to believe in ourselves again, to understand who we are, and then we are able to work with others with that respect for ourselves. Let me leave it there, right? We have some other callers on the line.
But you as a, let me say one little thing quick. You as a youth man, right? I think God rises. You see, Islam has something to do with order and discipline. Every descendant of Abraham have a gift. But you see the firstborn of Abraham, Ishmael, they have a gift too. You see, the gift is like order, discipline, and whatever. And it has certain things that's seen about every nation of the earth too, you know, even the white man. Them, it are no ancient Viking warlord. Them is from we. Them is lost Israelites. Or everybody coming from we right now. From Indian to everybody. And Spanish is how the Israelites was when they come out of Egypt. A kind of crossbreed mix-ups, and God is tell we not to continue when we conquer land, and that's what we do. So that's how you get these European fellas looking so, and them thinking that they're all white. But everybody is from the descendants of Noah, coming straight down, even Abraham, all the nations of the earth. So all these things is where we have to identify and make them know that they can't victimize us.
Yeah.
We come like, we the original then. But them have a blessing to it down to the white man. You see, Cain had a blessing direct straight from Adam. You know, as to be, you know, a caretaker on the earth now, right? And them is like the first access to that blessing because them is the descendants of Cain. But they messed up. We had the Menelain cortex, right, with the communication in the cosmos. We have that. So we first in the spirit, and them may be first in the flesh.
Right.
Something like that.
Leave it there.
You know, all these things we have to study.
You're giving me too much.
We study all these things now when we start to link better.
Right. Will do. Blessings, my brother. Yeah, so y'all could call in. Sorry, those who try to come in when the lines are busy, just call back, right? Good morning.
Morning. Praise Him in the morning, praise Him in the night, praise Him in the evening, praise Him all the time. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I didn't want to miss your call at all. And you hit some notes this morning there. Wow. You hit some notes. I'm sure the callers have had some paws raising. You know, all praise is due to the Almighty Creator. Right? Praise the Lord. And as we wake up, some of us are up already, some of us got up quite early. Some of us see the rising of the sun every morning. We thank the Creator, and we must live in accordance with that Creator's will. And it is not that we do not know what He wants. He has directed us. We are blessed by guidance. We know that God wants equality. We know that He wants justice. We know that he wants fair play. We know that he does not like the implementation of poverty. We know that he loves kindness. We know that he appreciates the human being that appreciates the blessings that he is given and the tests of wealth that he is given, and who shares with others the wealth that he is able to be blessed with, or some of them have this notion that they are able to accumulate. As a Muslim, and on this day of Friday, in the month of Ramadan, approaching the end of Ramadan, we are mindful that after this period, many of us pay our poor tax. Yes, in Islam, we have something called poor tax, where a percentage of our wealth, our unused wealth, we have the responsibility. It's not a option. It's not a if we want. It dread like the systems that are set up in the Western world. You don't have a choice to pay tax in Trinidad and Tobago. We have this poor tax that after our hearts are softened by feeling the pains of hunger, it ain't so painful just for the day from, a little before 5 o'clock to 6:20 without water, without food, without, it's a little, but it's not that painful. I handed a box of food to a friend a couple days ago, and he said, boy, I ain't eat in a little while, I could have a next one. And sure, it was available. And we fast, and from a little 5 o'clock till 6:20, many of us as Muslims in Trinidad and Tobago, many of us, some not, we could eat. We have money. We have food available to us. We could drink. We can afford. But we have to be cognizant. We have to be understanding that there are people in this society who cannot. And after this period of, God softening our hearts, and giving your willpower and your inner self and your spirituality strength over your physical being, because even your physical strength is diminished to some extent. You can't do 100% the same things you could do. You have to take it a little easier. And after God manifests the power of your strength, your inner self, over your physical being and your physical desires, after God manifests that, it is an opportune time, and Muslims usually take that opportunity to pay that poor tax. It is a time where you're spiritually inclined to let go of the wealth. And if you know people who have wealth, that's one of the greatest challenges some of them have. Keeping it flowing, giving, paying. Some of them, you would know, some of the worst people to pay are the people who have the most. They want to pay the least because they believe that to accumulate, to have plenty, you have to spend a little. And it may be true. So they want, when people work for them, they want blood, sweat, and tears. And they want to chinks. They not in their minds, they're not considering whether what they give you, you can live with it, Utmost in their consideration, on top of their mind, is them want to keep as much of it as possible. And we have adopted the ways of evil in this society. We are running a system that is based on that economic evil, on the accumulation of wealth, on the desire to rise high above everyone else. And it is achieved by getting the most and giving back the least. And we must stop that behavior in order to purify our society. We must stop. We must feel a joy in giving out of whatever we have been blessed with and ensuring others could live wholesome lives. I give full respect to those business owners across Trinidad and Tobago that are considerate in their remuneration to their employees, to their workers, whose workers are like family to them, and they treat them with the love of a family member. Names come in my mind because I know some of these wonderful people. They consider their staff. They consider the people who work with them. They think about how they live in. Can they live? And that needs to be the position that we all have as brothers and sisters in this society. We are brothers and sisters. We are one human race. We are running a system that is contrary to what God wants. We are practicing the evil that wicked people who want us to do evil and to be destroyed have perpetuated throughout the world. So we cleanse ourselves, and I hope that all my Muslim brothers and sisters were able during this period of time to cleanse themselves, to purify themselves, and we still have a few days left. And to feel that pain, and to understand what other people are going through, and to curtail the excesses and the selfishness of the human spirit that could exist. I pray that has happened. And I pray in challenging economic times that Muslims are able to lead the way in Trinidad and Tobago with their poor tax this year. That they do what Allah has directed them to do. And they share that love and that blessing. I don't belong to a philosophy where we just talk and mumble words and whatever, and they are not actions that back up what we say we are. They are not actions that exemplify our level of spirituality. I do not belong and I do not subscribe to a philosophy that is image. You put on an image of whatever, you go in whatever house of wherever, you pray to be seen of by men, and then your life and your actions are not consistent with what God wants, we don't take advantage of others. Our wealth is not to make people bend to us and bow. It is not to keep away from them and just give them enough so that they have to do whatever we want them to do. It is not for us to give them and tell them, praise me. Praise me. Say you love me. Look. I had planned, because I wanted to exemplify what fasting is and what Islam teaches in terms of philosophy during this month. So I say, I would do a program, advertise it, sit on the promenade and eat with the people in Port of Spain. Just the people of Port of Spain and the people predominantly who don't have meals at times, who have found themselves in a difficult position. I say, and God just didn't have it that way, so I just did what I had to do very quietly. And maybe that's the better way. Maybe that is what God actually wanted. Don't bring the leaders of the religious bodies in Trinidad and Tobago for support just politically. Seek the spiritual support of religious leaders who are actually religious, who are not coming to you as well for something, who will tell you like it is. So I say this morning to all of these leaders who are putting themselves forward for the responsibility of managing the affairs of all the people of Trinidad and Tobago, I say to you all, what is not yours, do not take it. What is not yours, do not take it. The lines are open, huh? We take any calls. Forgive me if I talk a little much, right? Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Blessed morning. Blessed uprising, Fuad.
Yeah, man. Blessed uprising.
Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Peace and blessings.
I say good morning to my PNM friend, Ms. Jama. I say I'll pray for she, all the way she has pretty recovery. Right now she in the hospital, she catch a stroke, a corona, she PNM friend them. We support she 91.9. They say I'll pray for Ms. Swanky Jama. She catch a stroke. The first woman DJ. Right now she down, she in the hospital, she catch a stroke, so I call them to say I'll pray for the sister now.
All right, yeah.
But Fuad, I saw you, boy. You're looking good. Let's keep up the good work, and I look forward to listening.
Yeah, man.
I'll talk back in later.
I hope you appreciate what I stand for. You see, I make sure I'm putting my sweater. It's the same sweater from last night. I ain't have money to print a set thing, eh? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see where they stand for.
Go ahead.
They stand for righteousness because they see what's going on. They see what's going on in the place.
Yeah.
We last night there's real suffering and pain. And we can't take that because we are children. We are young children to save, Our 5-year-old and 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And the fruit is for them.
Yeah.
So we're looking for good government for this country. For last 9 years, we get good government.
Yeah.
We need to get lies and promises. And money thiefing out left, right, and center. They enriching the friend. The man who say if for black people, he enrich he got overs. Give my gift for life. I want to be so lucky, though. You want to be so lucky, so why? That is a gift, eh?
I just want a fair society where we give to the people what belongs to the people. That is all I want. God has blessed me with the strength to to find my way in a fair society. But when it's not fair, that's where I take issue. And it's not just me
I
alone.
know the month of Ramadan, I always go there and spread all the love and feed the unfortunate and the needy and things in there. So let's keep public work and look to understand love and respect. But Jama, I will surely better as spirit recovery. Love.
Yeah, man, love. Right? We have to have something that we stand for. And I've seen people go up on the stages and whatever, and they saying to us that don't divide the country and it don't have somebody talk about 1% and whatever. That is the reality of what exists in our world today. It is a reality that inequality has reared its head to the highest levels. It is a reality that the 100 richest people in countries and societies own more wealth, own more than the rest of the entire society in some cases. That is the level of inequality that exists. So we have modern day kings, pharaohs, and they did not accumulate or build that wealth on their own. That is a lie. You cannot do it on your own. No man could do it on their own. They have done it on our backs. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Bakker.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm alive, healthy, I'm strong. I'm doing very well, sir.
Right.
And how are you doing today, sir?
Good, good, good.
All right. So let's have a little conversation this morning. Well, I know that man just now. Just don't worry, because I decided I'm not having interactions with you because you tend to. But just with that man, just a short while ago. Young man KFC, and he had 2 children, and he's fighting for his children. Well, I am fighting for my children, my grand and my great-grand. So I have a lot more to fight for than he. And I am working to do that. I ain't saying no, I'm begging to do that. That's the difference. So let me ask you a question. If you tell me how does a country get money, could you tell me that, Mr. Bakker? How does that country generate money, sir?
Trinidad and Tobago?
Any economy. Trinidad and Tobago, any economy around the world. Or if you want to be specific, let's be specific. Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
How does Trinidad and Tobago generate money?
From the sale of our natural resources, oil, gas, and the derivatives, and then obviously we have some smaller.
Let me ask you, basically, we say we have oil and gas.
Yeah.
Does Trinidad and Tobago have an oil extracting company?
Unfortunately, over the 100 years of oil and the others of gas, we have not, developed ourselves to extract our own natural resources.
Let's correct ourselves there, right there, please.
Yeah.
Trinidad and Tobago, oil 100 years was not Trinidad and Tobago that we know today. Trinidad and Tobago that we know today, which you are now half of its age, and we have a few citizens, even our Prime Minister has surpassed the age of our independence at 62 or 60 much years. Our Prime Minister is 75. Our independence is about 65. So we have been extracting oil for 100 years. The Englishman who was here 100 years ago, he extracted more than 60% before he left. Right?
I don't think that figure is correct, but he still extracted.
We are doing an analogy. Trinidad and Tobago, you're saying that we've been extracting oil for 100 years. My point to you, Trinidad and Tobago that we know today has not been extracting oil for 100 years. So that rhetoric is out of the window, right?
No. If it's the country we're talking about by a different...
We're talking about the persons who inherit the country from the colonial masters. We My grandparents who come from St. Vincent and Grenada, them was under the colonial masters. My generation, we voted for independence and we continue to vote for independence now. So I ain't extracting oil for 100 years.
Yeah. The people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago is not extracting oil for 100 years. So let me get rid of that argument that all they keep showing out that we extracting oil for 100 years. So we get that point out anyway.
It's the same. It's the same country with different governance.
It is the same country, but it's not the same. It is not controlled by the same people. Because the Englishman took my revenue and came back to England and France. I am now paying them off. I pay them off for Shell. I pay them off for Texaco. I pay them off for Caribbean. I could go on. I pay them off for the port. I pay them off for all of that. And I take that money and I invest it back in Trinidad and Tobago. With Trinidad and Tobago citizens went to school and became doctors and lawyers and politicians for free. From the same oil and gas that my grandparents work and put out. To send them to school, to give them an education, to come here today to become where we are today, to sustain the policeman, the fireman, to buy the truck for the policeman, the fireman, to buy the car for the policeman, the fireman, to get see that, to get a free university education. That is where the money gone. To build the building in town. And when you get flood out, where you live next close to a river bank, and you get flood out, who has run to? The government. To give back a fish and a soap and a TV. Where the money gone? Mr. Bakar, enjoy it.
I now take my pen and paper to write.
Well, let me have a dialogue then. Let me take a pen.
Yeah. So first of all, if the lands of Trinidad and Tobago that belong to the people who lived on these lands before and the people who now live here and have lived here for hundreds of years, for 100 years plus.
Not by generation. If you want to talk about the Aborigines, if you could find them, they still have a generation. If you could find them,
Good morning.
Then, if that is the case, then we and we're asking about reparation. Then if you look up, you have to give them everything that we have.
No, so they have their share of reparations to get for what the British and others have done to them.
So then, if that is the case, the British leave we here and leave we in charge of them. So if they decide to claim for reparation, do you think it's really clear?
No, what transpired is they were here before. They were decimated. Let me talk to, and then you'll get opportunity to rebut, right? They were here before initially. They were decimated. They were exploited. They tried to enslave them. They resisted. They took whatever they had, etc. Decimated their populations. There are very few who have their blood still existing in these isles, and they are the original occupiers of this land. Respect to them, and they should have their due from these people who exploited them before, right?
And then you apply for a visa.
If I apply for a visa,
if you're making this wrong check on behalf of the Aborigines, then you have to apply for a visa.
No problem. His Royal Highness Eric and whoever else, a good friend of mine who is one of the leaders of the indigenous people in Trinidad and Tobago, he given me permission to live on this island for sure. Very nice person, but I did not choose to be here, no. I was picked up and brought here by the same person. By the same person. Either I was brought here, my grandfather come from Grenada, or one of the other islands.
You see that rhetoric?
Not rhetoric. This is history.
All right. So let me explain
this. This is the true history.
All right. Okay. It's the way you put your history. So let me explain something. You see this conversation that I was brought here? I just say thank God.
Thank God?
Oh Lord, take your time, brother. Yes, because you and I living in a whole different society. We are living in a. I understood what my ancestors as slaves went through. They didn't want to come here. They didn't volunteer to come here. I understand all of that. But there is nothing I could do. Now, again, I am here. I am here because of whoever brought them here. So what I am supposed to do here now is try to forget about what transpired. I'm not forgetting to know.
Yeah.
I have to ensure that what transpired with them do not happen to me again, but I am to build on what they left here and to make here a better place. Right now, are you here? To make Tobago a better society.
I agree 100%
right.
with that line there.
When we come with this negative criticism, especially against my own kind who did not to come here, because I told them, I've been counting myself cocoa and coffee long before anybody else come here. Besides the people that I met here, I've been master accountant, master doctor, cooking master cocoa, counting master cocoa and coffee, and put it on a boat as an accountant and ship it back to the UK or France. Long before anybody come here. So when they want to talk about development, I developed this little island that you see down here.
Correct.
Right. So once, and that is the problem we have here. There are, just like they want to deny my rights in America, they want to wipe out my existence in Trinidad and Tobago and the achievement of my kind in Trinidad and Tobago. To ask me what we do for the past 10 years. And
nah,
the same,
that's not the case. We're going to the break and you can come back.
You come back after.
Are you looking to reach a vast audience and boost your brand's visibility? Then look no further. The Street 919 FM is here to help you shine. With over 170,000 followers on our social media platforms, our radio station is the perfect platform to showcase your products and services. Join us and let your message be heard by thousands of eager listeners. Contact us now to learn more about our affordable advertising packages. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to connect with your target audience. Advertise with the Street 919 FM today. For more information, call 399-5959, 384-2232 or 378-1470.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.
Port of Spain, Point Fortin. It's your turn to laugh like never before. Alternative International Comedy Festival featuring comedy star Damien Melville in concert with added drama, including Damien Melville as Dr. Rowley.
Listen to that. There's never a day you could wake up and you hear, what a lovely day. What beautiful sunshine. Let me go on the beach. Let me go and check my neighbor I haven't seen for a while. All you just get from them is yang, 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 yang. That is all.
Coming to Winifred Atwell Auditorium, Queens Hall, Saturday, March 22nd, and Mahaika Oval Sporting Complex, Point Fortin, Saturday, March 29th. Both shows, 7 p.m. Get tickets today and save a fantastic $50 while stock lasts at islandytickets.com. Caches, Port of Spain, Gulf City Mall, Twin City Mall, Michelle's Arima, Passad the Food King, and Food Fantasy, Point Fortin, Valini's, San Fernando, Crosby, St. James, Extra Food Supermarkets, nationwide. For more info, call Alternative Festival Hotline at 774-5555.
Keep your money safe, let your money grow. Keep your money safe, let your money grow. You can trust, unit trust, a Trinbagonian institution for every single generation. You can trust, unit trust, let us show you how to be wealthy. Come to us, while you sleep you can grow your money. Unit trust, secure your future financially. Unit trust.
Come party.
Hey, what's up? This is your boy Major Hype, and guess what? It's all about Tobago. We're getting ready for Tobago. That's right, it all takes place in Tobago, Scarborough, Pigeon Point. Everybody come out, let me have a good time and let me enjoy ourselves now, man. It's all about comedy and party. It's gonna be crazy. Man, you see that what I can't take with all you? All right, let me do this.
Listening, not a party, it's party.
Let's have a party. You don't listen. You can't win everything, brother. The teeth in me right through, but it's okay.
Comedy Party, Friday, 18th April, Fairways Tobago Plantation, featuring Caribbean King of Comedy, Major Hype and Friends. Friday, 18th April. Get your tickets at Cachet stores nationwide, Fairways Restaurant and the Lounge Plantation, Jenny's on the Boulevard, all E-Clip Eli locations, and online at islandetickets.com. Comedy show and party with all the top DJs.
Comedy and party. Have a party. We're gonna have a party after the comedy.
Sponsored by Cachet, top-ranking guest house and tours, and Jenny's on the Boulevard.
Occupying a home and need documents of your own. Come in, come in, come in. Paperwork could help you find peace, so secure your HTC lease. Come in, come in, come in. They're regularizing, so start organizing to visit the HTC. Don't waste no time, hurry over online. Benefit from the amnesty, handle it skillfully.
Get regularized now. Visit hdc.gov.tt, click on the Forms tab, then scroll to the Rental Regularization Transfer Form and fill out the required information. You can also WhatsApp 325-2578 or 328-6013 to access the forms. More information can be found on our website. Be at peace. Get your HDC lease.
This is yours truly, Wendy H. Lewis, host of A Woman's Worth, right here on Street 91.9 FM. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and on Tuesdays, 11 a.m. to 12 noon. We are commemorating International Women's Month, the month of March. Throughout the program, you will hear inspiring stories of trailblazing women. We will be engaging in meaningful conversations about gender equality and spotlight the voices of those making a difference in their communities. So whether you are a leader, mother, a professional, an entrepreneur, or just a young woman trying to find your path, this is the program for you. This is your time, this is your space, this is your celebration. Join us right here on Street 91.9 FM.
A woman's worth. A woman's worth.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282. or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Champlain, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on the Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
Lent is here, and the castle is making fasting easy and tasty. Come enjoy any of our 5 delicious fish options. All made with a fresh catch, seasoned local style, and cooked to golden perfection. Try the fish meal. 2 slices of fish with a side. The fish combo. 2 slices of fish, 1 side, and a drink. Maybe the fish sandwich combo of 1 sandwich, a side, and a drink. Want more fish? Well, the Royal Fish Meal is for you. Enjoy a slice of fish, a fish sandwich with a side and a drink. Or maybe you just want our famous fish sandwich. The delicious Lenten specials are hot and waiting for you at your nearest Royal Castle.
TTMF and HMB have joined forces to offer you greater mortgage, financing, and investment advantages under one roof. Welcome to TTMB, the new Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Bank. Call 625-8863 or visit ttmortgagebank.com to learn more. TTMB, the Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Bank. Own your future.
Good morning again, Trinidad and Tobago blessings. This is the Street 91.9 FM, and we defend the street. This is the voices of the street, and we are not stupid. Sometimes we don't understand it fully, you know, but we could feel it. We don't understand all the intricacies. We don't understand everything there, you know. But we could feel it. And we know that something is not right. We know that something is not right. And anyone who comes to us and tells us in this society that everything good is a damn blasted liar. They have no respect for our intelligence, and they think of us less than we are. We could feel it. If we work in a 9 to 5 and we are unable to put food on our children's table and afford to go back to work, and we're not, as they try to bandy about, we're not wasting money, we're not thinking. It's our people who are frugal, who take their little pittance and try to stretch it, then something is wrong. Something is fundamentally wrong in this system. So just to respond to the caller before, we understand our history, and for who don't understand, I am willing to help and teach that history. Those people who exploited us then continue to exploit us now. Those people who brought chattel slavery into the world so that they could economically benefit on our lives, who could force us into work to make riches, to produce for them, they still exist. Their children still exist. And they do the exact same thing, maybe in a little different way. We had to bring back up our Bob Marley songs. We had to go back again and listen to understand. And in the case of Trinidad and Tobago, what we call Trinidad and Tobago, this land that we occupy, that we were brought to and forced to work on, this land that we were brutalized on, this land that we didn't have a choice, this land that we developed. Yes, we developed it. Not massa sitting down in the house with a few overseers keeping their guns close so that they could have that advantage over us in terms of weaponry to shoot we head off if we go too far. Those who drove and instilled fear in us Those who would take the strongest man and break you. That's what's going on in the society today, you know. They would love to make an example of the strongest men in this society and break us in front of the rest of the people so that they say, boy, don't challenge what they're doing, you know. Don't you dare challenge, you know. And we all fall in line to make more riches to produce for people who carry the same mentality. What has changed? What has changed? That the whip is now money that they create, and they keep you away from the money, and they lead you to do what they want you to do with the crumbs. They deprive you. They deprive you of what exists to ensure that you need it, not want it. Some of us want it, yes, but need it. So then they could control us, and they're not setting you free. I have heard big businessmen already. Just pay them enough that they have to keep coming back to work. Don't create a position where they don't need to work. I take any calls in between. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Pleasant good day to you, Young Barker. Good day to Trinidad and Tobago. Young Barker, you know, as I always say to you, I've been listening to you for a while. Not now, though, and I could say years ago when you opened your New Vision party, right? I think that's the name of the party, correct?
Yeah, New National Vision. If you're viewing online,
New National Vision.
I have a little jersey on today, a sweater on.
Okay, New National Vision. So I remember walking to Shogunas. I'm not from Shogunas, and you apparently you was able to approach me and tell me to walk. I was doing something, and that's when you now launched the party. And I know you have a vision for Trinidad and Tobago, and you're really passionate about it, right?
Yeah.
And I know there were incidents where, you know, you tried to also screen for the People's National Movement, because maybe you see something in the party that you could have bring forth further to the population or the electorate, right? But anyways, you continue to go about your journey because you understand. However, looking at where we came from since Dr. Eric William days and the other leaders, right? And then we stopped at Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, where I must mention, I'm not going to be a hypocrite this morning, that the population and the electorate, even though they voted for him, most people didn't like his leadership qualities. He wasn't one of the best liked prime minister, and I believe when you placed in such position, you would get that type of tantrum, and people wouldn't like you because of the seriousness of the position and the decision that you have to make. However, we're in a new era. Young Barker, would you take the initiative one day? It don't have to be now, to meet with the Prime Minister of this country, Stuart Young, and even though you're on radio and you're sharing your sentiments, Stuart Young is not Dr. Rowley. Do you think that he would listen to you? He would give you the opportunity to be heard, and he would understand where you're coming from? Because I believe in my skin that I believe in my heart, that he can be a different person. Even though some people on social media are calling him the Stuart Rowley, and you did mention something that you know, they have their soldiers coming out and it's the same brush they're using to paint the red paint. But I'm simply saying people change, policies change, manifestos change, mandate change. So I don't want to be too judgmental. So that is why I'm also looking at what are being brought forward to the table, and come election day, let's see what happened on April 29th. So I'm just giving you some suggestion. You don't have to agree, or you can agree to disagree. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks a lot, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so I'll touch on what you said, but just to just outline economically our history in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have 100 years of oil and gas. We are one of the first producers of oil in the world. Our technical ability is renowned because we are so experienced in the field. We have Trinbagonians, people I know, who run major companies in different parts of the world. Azerbaijan, Angola. Not just work as specialists, you know. I'm talking about they run departments for these mega corporations, oil corporations in the world. And 100 years, it would have been tremendous if we could have broken into the sphere of independence as a small island and been able to exploit our own resources for ourselves. How tremendous it would have been if a local Petro Trinidad, wherever, could have gone to our neighbors Guyana, done exploration and realized the potential of their resources and partnered with them in the extraction and exploitation of their tremendous oil reserves. How independent that would have been. But unfortunately, for the past how many years, we have been content to accept royalty supplemental tax from these corporations that their budgets are beyond, their profits are beyond countries, medium-sized countries. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. And you know, you're quite right to a point. That would have been nice, like what Venezuela have it. But you see, what we have to understand is our history. There was a thing called the Second World War, and we had the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And in Trinidad and Tobago, we had one of the largest American bases in the west side of the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
So we had a man who throwed out the Americans when we became independent. You think they're going to let we create a Petrobras? Because we were lucky that that man survived so long to rule Trinidad and Tobago. At that time, once you was against the American system, you would have been assassinated.
Right.
We were lucky that Dr. Eric Williams survived all of that to bring Trinidad where it is today.
He survived assassination?
Otherwise,
I'm just asking if they were...
Look it up.
I'm honestly asking.
You see the songs Pharaoh sing? Gina and Dinah?
Yeah.
Well, no. When they talk about 1%, we have a ton load of so-called people look like me and you running around as 1%. Because Gina and Dinah would not stop making children. So we would have a white society today. So we had to understand history before we started talk them kind of talk.
So what you are saying?
Yeah, what I'm telling you, a little black man in a little third world island put out one of the biggest countries in the world off his island. Up to now, Cuba can't do that here. Enjoy your moment, my brother.
Yeah, I wonder sometimes if Massa Day is really ever done. I wonder if, when we were told that Massa Day is done, if it was really that Massa Day is ever done. And the same people the same corporations who have exploited Trinidad and Tobago and our natural resources still are here exploiting those natural resources. And we work, I think, is something like with them. I don't know if that's exactly what we do, but they profit tremendously. And we get something from that. And with that, we have not been able to empower ourselves so that we are strong enough to become truly independent. We have taken that, and some of us have behaved very much like those people who were masters over us. We have enriched a few, tremendous riches, and we have left so many across Trinidad and Tobago vulnerable to a paycheck to paycheck. And if you miss a paycheck, you're in proper problems, proper monkey pants. That is unacceptable to me as a society. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Baker.
Morning.
I just try to listen to your show and try to just listen. But when I hear people trying to skew history to suit their whims and fancies to sound good on the radio, I have to come into debunk what they're saying. Right? First things first, Mr. Baker. Let us be real. Right? Our country is the most blessed country in the hemisphere, in this side of the world. Right? Besides oil and gas, we had sugarcane, we had cocoa, we had citrus, we had tourism, we had bitumen, we had pitch lake. We was blessed with resources.
Yeah.
But they are trying to let us believe, right? They want us to believe that a country that was so blessed, 100 years of oil and gas exploration and understanding and getting oil and selling it. We were first in this part of the hemisphere doing that. And they want us to believe that what we get was enough. Right?
Yeah.
They want us to believe that everybody else was the problem and not their government and the governance of this country. The people was the problem.
Yeah, the people. That's what remember, that's what they say. The people is the problem.
Yeah, they want to
the poor people.
The poor people was the problem.
Yeah.
Right? When Trinidad and Tobago not supposed to have poor people living here.
Yeah.
Right? I too was brainwashed into believing that the people is the problem. You understand? Until I get to do research and I'm saying to myself, God bless YouTube. When YouTube came out for me to go and watch all these documentaries and get to see the other countries in the world that also exploring oil and gas. Right? And I come across in YouTube a country called Qatar that only found oil and gas in 1993. And now this country is the richest country in the world. The richest country in the world, where the citizens of Qatar don't even have to work. They collect a monthly stipend from the government via a fund, an investment fund, right? The people that work in Qatar are immigrants and migrants. The citizens of Qatar are rich. Everybody driving Ferrari and Bugatti and Lamborghini. You understand? They don't even pay for gas. They get free housing, free education, free everything. But they in Trinidad and Tobago, where we were doing that years before, we have poor people lying on that bank homeless. We have people on the streets by every ATM begging for a dollar with the children and the babies in hand. Right? We have the highest crime rate right now. GDP per capita, one of the highest in the Caribbean.
One of the highest in the world per capita.
Correct. Right? And they want us to believe, right, that it's our fault. We are responsible. When their government is properly well practicing systematic racism and systematic economic divide, where they're keeping a certain demographic of the society down and they're raising up our next kind of demographic of the society.
Yeah.
And they want us to accept that and believe that is our fault. Right? Yeah. And it's sad to be listening to your show on this radio this morning and hearing people calling to make excuses for the bad governance that we had over the years.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to say that. I'm not just so good because I get emotional now.
Yeah.
But people need to open their eyes and understand and realize that this country ain't gone yet, we could bring it back. We just have to get the right leadership. You understand? Because if a country in Africa where 80% of the population was living below the poverty line, called Burkina Faso, get a leader in a short space of 2 years and he's transforming their country, we could do that here too. Because we don't have 80% of our population below the poverty line.
No.
We could still come back. Understand? But we need the right leadership with the right ideas to bring back our country. And we don't need resources to do that. There are countries in the world that have no resources and is striving better than us right now.
So your resources, your people, your resources, the land that you stand on. Once you can feed yourself, it have places where They're selling sheep and milk and cheese, and the country doing well. And we have grass growing in Trinidad and Tobago till we can't done CPEP, can't done cut grass in Trinidad and Tobago. So
thank you so much, Mr. Maka.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, man, thanks.
So I understand that we did not understand. I understand that there was a time in Trinidad and Tobago where it was wine, woman, and song. I understand that things, while all the money going out, some money was thrown about, and it was, when my father used to say, Nelson Street, this town places, everybody dancing, swinging, thing. You dance till you sweat. Another brother, you know, in his days before he became conscious and become a Muslim, he said, what, they couldn't stop me on the dance floor, and his woman, and his this, his wine, and I understand that is how they keep a people down. Corner after corner, rum shop. Corner after corner, block, weed, cocaine, dance, song, carnival, wine, jam, have a good time. That is how they distract us. Calypso is not the thing anymore, with consciousness and some understanding of what's going on in this society. We don't want to hear that. The real music, party, just party, just have a good time, just have a good time. If things good, drink. If things bad, drink. But men medicating with marijuana before they even sick. They didn't even have a sickness, but they medicated with a drug. And that is decriminalized. All this smoke now, man. That is promoted within the societies. It is promoted. The guns and the violence are promoted. One of the biggest exports from this place we look up at, Trump and America, and we want to go to America. One of their greatest exports in terms of financial remuneration is guns and arms and bombs. Don't feel it's South America these guns coming from, 11 handguns in the back of somebody's trunk the other day. And you going and kill somebody looking like you for the hungry block that all are fighting over to sell marijuana. And our leaders, with the resources that they have, they're telling me they can't solve that problem. They can't solve these problems in their communities, in their constituencies that they represent. With the people who come and they carry to vote, because I'm telling you, election day, their machinery is going to take them, the same people, work with them to go to vote for them. But this is a joke. There's a joke, and you want to tell me that I must appreciate 10 years of that? Again, that nothing different is going to come out from the mouths of these people? Like a man saying move or something. So there's mama guy season and all, ain't even mama guy in we? Sorry, I apologize to the callers. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, morning again.
Morning.
Yeah, it's nice to hear the discussion going on and trying to figure out really what it is happening with the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
I see you as a person trying your best to see how you could bring some sort of solution. But in doing so, you must do so objectively.
Sure.
Objectively means that you cannot only look at the People's National Movement and attempt to punish them when the day comes. You must be able to examine the other side and what is their contribution to the development of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
You must be able to do that objectively also.
For sure.
So if in your mind, for the last 10 years, the People's National Movement under the leadership of Dr. Rowley has not contributed positively to the development of Trinidad and Tobago, you must also be able to look at the UNC and their leadership and see where they have not also been able to contribute positively to the development of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right. You mean in opposition, or you mean before when they had the opportunity? When you mean?
I mean that in opposition.
Right, okay.
Because when you look to government for Trinidad and Tobago, it is the executive arm, which is now the People's National Movement, and it is the opposition, which is now the UNC led by Kamala Persad-Bissessa.
Right.
That is the government of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, but you understand the way the government works as well, eh? The simple majority and the person who is endowed with that responsibility of maximum leadership, the Prime Minister, has tremendous power. And the next side, all they could do is just complain and complain, but really and truly, they don't have any power to legislate. And they don't have any power either. I mean, if it's something with a 3/5 majority, then they could take part. But in a real way, they could oppose, they could speak about, but really and truly, power lies. The economic ability to change Trinidad and Tobago was in the hands of this group. And it has been in their hands for the vast majority of time since independence. You know, so I understand what you're saying, but
Right, so I agree that when you're talking about the executive arm, they control the economics.
Yeah, not the economics alone. This man could choose, he has the veto over the commissioner of police. They choose through the attorney general, the head of the judiciary, who is who's responsible, the chief magistrate. They choose that. Then they could influence the judiciary in a very subtle but powerful way with briefs, because the state pays a lot of money. Good morning, Mr. Kwame and others. Boy, these lawyers in Trinidad and Tobago, if you want to really cream it, just stay on the side of the government and just collect commission money, collect briefs, wherever, state defense contracts. You just collect money now, man, from the government, right?
Beautiful. So
then you have, I ain't done yet. Then he had the power. Listen, the other day, and I have said to Mr. Stuart Young, listen, if you don't deserve senior counsel because you have not practiced to the capacity like Miss Pamela Elder or Carl Hudson Phillip, these people who you can't complain when them get senior counsel. If you have not practiced to that level and you are in political office, and I will say to Ms. Bissessa as well, do not take senior counsel. You do not deserve it. You are decreasing from what it really means to be a senior counsel. You are giving yourself something that you did not earn. I have said it. So anybody, any lawyer in Trinidad who wants to ascend to the pinnacle of practice and accolade and respect and actually earn more. Once you are a senior counsel, you earn more. You could attribute higher fees than a junior and other lawyers, right? You have to be politically aligned in the society. You can't be challenging the state. And that to me, it irks me that people who are supposed to be leaders and sophisticated and intelligent, that they are so unjust, that they want what they have not worked for.
Right. So from what you identified to me there just now, you're telling me that Stuart Young doesn't deserve senior counsel.
From what I understand, all of those politicians who are not actually excellent practitioners of law should just leave it alone. Don't give yourself that. You know what I mean? Have the humility that Is the same thing as giving yourself more money at this point in time.
Right. So you know that the persons you call as elder and all the other senior councils, right? They did not give themselves senior council either.
Just a couple. Just a couple, but I could tell you what they know though, and what they have said to me, some of them. You have to be careful politically if you want to go up in this society, because if you challenge the aristocracy, if you challenge the ruling class, they have the power, they have the control of the money, they have the treasury at their disposal. Tomorrow, if we want a new hospital, you know who could decide that? Mr. Young could decide that. And he could decide to tell his finance minister, who's answerable to him, find the money from somewhere. Take it away from pensioners, take it away from wherever, we're going to build this. And if the finance minister disagrees and says, listen, that ain't really the best thing for us to do, you know what the prime minister could do? Just remove him and put somebody else in his place. As Selwyn Ryan and others, commentators in our society have said, we create a prime ministerial dictator. And then behind the dictator is the money of Trinidad and Tobago, the people who have all of the finance, and they direct the society in their favor, not in the favor of me and you and the working class, but in their favor.
Mr. Baker, I hear all your thoughts on everything. I hear you. Here where I want to be. We are in a democratic society.
Serious?
The people, when coming to a democratic society, have the say every 5 years.
Serious?
To determine who. Yeah, that is what goes on. We're in a voting period right now, and there's a general election call. Mr. Stewart is the same man as Prime Minister, made a decision. Listen, it's time to call the election despite what everybody else was thinking. We know this is an election yet. We're thinking down the road is when our election will be called. He made a determination and said, listen, we're going to the polls on the 28th of April. It means that the society has an opportunity to put who they want there to be a prime minister.
Well, we have the opportunity to put who is available to us, who could find the money to put themselves. All now I saving, you know. I saving to try to make up my $5,000 deposit, you know.
Beautiful.
And I had to save. I had to take money out of my children's mouth to print some jersey so people will understand. And thank God I have a little radio outlet here. But guess what? All of the radio time has been bought out, and all of the TV time has been bought out from now till election to convince people that is one way or the next. That is democracy. Where money rules.
What you're saying there is based on an economic position. So those who have the corn will be able to feed more fowl. So in this scenario, what you're sharing is that disadvantage. You're saying because financially you are not able to treat with certain things, the other people have the finances, and based on that they have the advantage.
Tremendous disadvantage.
Beautiful.
Brother, I looked in the square the other day for the Sunday launch of candidates, right? And I was in awe. I see a stage about 60 by 100. I know the exact dimensions, right?
Yes.
So I know $150,000 to $200,000 at least. I mean, the man putting up the stage go a little benefits, so he might give them a discounted price. Then I see some drop banners, right? I print banners already. I see some drop banners, PNM, look tremendous, beautiful. It gives you the feeling that you see this big, this powerful, this strong. This is what you need to be part of. About a little $15,000 each for each drop banner. Then I see fireworks, right? So I don't know if Fire One is part of the PNM or whoever. Sorry, let me don't call no company name. Right? My apologies.
Yeah, man. I'm feeling how what you're talking about.
I ain't done yet. It's tens of thousands of jerseys. It's maxis bringing in people to make it look good. And
but they said the numbers that was attending on that day was still small. It wasn't the largest number.
But Maxi bring them, so the Maxi come half full. I don't know if they didn't give people a little kakada to come out or wherever, but they have money. And guess what? CPEP and URP is at its biggest as it has ever been. I want two managing CPEP to come and tell us now, at this point in time, is March. Where's the numbers on the ground right now? Because they are at its highest. And guess what? Guess what those CPEP contractors telling those people who there? I see one of them, he does cut bush. He have a P&M tattoo on his hand. If you want this to continue, if you want money, come out and you have to walk and you have to vote or else.
Right. So where am I? I'm saying I want you to be able to be clear that you must be objective in your observation. Because the same way you're looking at the P&M and how they're spending money, and I want you to be able to examine the UNC and see how they're spending money also. Because just last night they was on the program and boasting that they buy out all the media.
Yes.
They boasting that.
Yes.
So it means that the UNC also have a financial capability that says, listen, we are also able to occupy the media and buy out the media and present ourselves based on whatever policy we feel for Trinidad and Tobago. We present that in the public domain.
I want to ask
put the two sides on the table.
Yeah.
And allow for the population to have an informed conversation.
I want to ask you one question. Sorry to keep you on the thing and your money,
That's
right? If they both take money, right?
Yes.
From these financiers, and they have to pay it back?
Correct. And therefore, in paying it back, they present policies, they present how they feel that they're going to govern Trinidad and Tobago.
They pay it back with interest, or they paying back just the flat amount?
However, there's another part. I'm not so deep into this whole thing with the financial aspect. But I'm saying that if we're talking from the perspective of the financial as one, while they're on the platform, they're presenting something for Trinidad and Tobago to vote for.
Yeah.
I am saying that is what Trinidad and Tobago have before them right now. Under the Prime Minister of Young, Mr. Young, he said, listen, let's go to the polls. Let us give the citizens the opportunity to see and examine the policies that are being presented, and the citizens now will make a decision. Because Ms. Kamala Prasad, they were calling for election all the time.
Yeah.
That was the mantra from since 2020 to now. The citizens have never gotten an arrest. Every morning from the UNC was, call the election now.
Yeah.
The election is now called. The citizens have an opportunity to watch and examine policies, and whoever they feel right. At the end of the day, she also called for observers. The Prime Minister say, okay, you're calling for observers, I'm giving you the international observers, that's what you call for. She sees that as what? She won. She sees that as an advantage in the election right now. That the Prime Minister listened to her, and based on that, she getting the opportunity to have international observers. She dismissed CARICOM for whatever reason she has or reason.
Mm-hmm.
The conversations we have to have in the next couple of weeks, and I look forward to it on the radio, is to hear an objective position from the persons who presenting themselves on the radio.
Yeah, excellent.
Examine your opposition and examine your executive.
Yeah.
Because that is the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and they are the ones who presenting policies to govern here.
Yeah.
That's the conversation.
Excellent.
So stop beating up on the People's National Movement alone.
Yeah. All right, no
so
problem.
That's my thought, and thanks very much for your time, my brother, and thanks for the moment.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too as well. Thank you very much. And I apologize if I come across as beating up on one side.
No. Well, again, you're thinking that the executive arm is the government, and that the PLM has the financial benefits of the treasury.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Not just
but
that,
when it requires a 2/3 or a 3/5 majority to make Trinidad and Tobago citizens' lives a little easier.
Yeah.
the opposition does not support it.
Listen, they don't need no legislation in Trinidad and Tobago to make the lives of citizens better. All they need, the existing laws, they need to implement them. Don't feel no government need laws. They don't need no SOE to curb crime. They just need to do their job.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree that when you look at the SOE situation with the criminals, within the normal operations of the system, you don't require SOE.
Yeah.
All the people who in the criminal justice system supposed to know they're being paid to deal with criminal elements.
Yeah.
Police, the DPP, the judiciary plays a big part of it. The judiciary work is simply to let the police and the DPP come to the court, present evidence concerning persons who are assumed innocent before guilty, and process the matter.
Yeah.
Not hold it up. And that's what we have been seeing for the last 50 years in the judiciary. How come the airport matter still remains outstanding? How come the matter with Ram Logan and that witness tampering still remains outstanding in the judicial system?
Yeah.
How come the many other matters that are necessary to determine these people make a jail remains outstanding and nobody is dealing with the judiciary?
Yeah, I agree.
The justices and them sitting down there every morning taking money, whatever they're doing, and you have evidence in the court to deal with matters, and you cannot get it moving forward.
Yeah.
It is a sad moment if I think about this whole scenario right now.
Yeah, correct.
But there is work to be done. The conversation has to be done objectively.
Objectively, yeah.
So that the people get the real picture and make a determination on it.
Yeah.
That's my little toast this morning.
Thank you very much for your contribution
You're
this
welcome.
morning. Have a
You're
blessed
welcome,
day.
my brother.
Yeah. And we're going into the short break, and there isn't much time thereafter, but we will still try to facilitate as much as possible. We have to be objective as well, I agree. And if people feel as though you're not being objective, people wouldn't listen, but there are also some of us who don't want the truth. You know, we're not interested in the truth. And the truth is what will improve our conditions. It is what will improve our society. For us, you know, I'm not talking about youth. You think you're in a position where you benefit now, but it is not that you really benefit. All right, so we'll take this short break and then we'll be back for a few minutes and continue.
This meal tip is being brought to you by Royal Castle, our culture, our taste.
Lent is here, and the castle is making fasting easy and tasty. Come enjoy any of our 5 delicious fish options, all made with a fresh catch, seasoned local style, and cooked to golden perfection. Try the fish meal. 2 slices of fish with a side. The fish combo. 2 slices of fish, 1 side, and a drink. Maybe the fish sandwich combo of 1 sandwich, a side, and a drink. Want more fish? Well, the Royal Fish Meal is for you. Enjoy a slice of fish, a fish sandwich with a side and a drink. Or maybe you just want our famous fish sandwich. The delicious Lenten specials are hot and waiting for you at your nearest Royal Castle.
Thinking of what to have for lunch or dinner? Here's a meal tip from Royal Castle. If you're on the go and want something easy to eat, try Royal Castle's Golden Chicken Nuggets. Enjoy these golden, tender, and tasty bite size treats of 10 pieces of nuggets, 1 side, and a 16-ounce soft drink with your choice of honey mustard or barbecue sauce. And not forgetting the kids. The Castle has a kids nugget combo 2 of 4 pieces of nuggets, 1 side, and a 16-ounce soft drink, and our nuggets are made with the same delicious local flavors that we're famous for. It's the Royal Castle Golden Chicken Nuggets. Our culture, our taste.
In this month, close to 2 billion Muslims worldwide observe Ramadan, their most holy and beloved month, yet most difficult. 30 days of fasting from food and drink and praying build mental fortitude and closeness to Allah. There is a lesson in their sacrifice, discipline, and faith, a motivation to us all to be resilient and look forward to a brighter day. Just as the hunger of Ramadan ends with the joys of Eid, it is our prayer that the power of this holy month inspire humanity to awaken, to remember God, and to make this world a better place. Ramadan Mubarak to our Islamic community and our nation from your Royal Castle.
That tip was brought to you by Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste.
Yeah, good morning again. We have had a government and administration with the power to change Trinidad and Tobago, with the power of the Treasury, and they have not done what is necessary to make Trinidad and Tobago better, in my opinion. And they are now asking for another 5 years again. So forgive me, after looking at and living through 10 years of governance, for focusing on what that 10 years felt like for me. Forgive me for looking on at a government that brought property tax, so we had to find money to pay that, the people who actually own a home, and those who don't own a home had to find whatever little extra money to pay the person who is renting to you, because they may have to pay that property tax. Forgive me for focusing on the fact that we have had increases in the cost of petrol and fuel over the past 10 years, and therefore the money that I would have had as disposable income has decreased because you have to pay more. Forgive me for focusing on those things. Forgive me because concurrent with the increase in gasoline prices was the increase of other goods and services over this period of time. So now I'm paying more for the fuel that I need to move about, but I'm also paying more for goods and services. So then I have even less. Forgive me that in this same space of time, when people have asked for increases in their wages, they have been offered what is less, way less than the concurrent increase in cost of living. So you have literally decreased the purchasing power, the ability of money to do anything for me. You have driven me into a position where I am poorer. So forgive me if I focus on these things over the last 10 years. To me, really and truly, what the opposition complain about over that 10 years, and they just complaining in vain, and who cares? Mr. Rowley didn't care, because they ain't affecting him in no real way. In terms of spending, in terms of policy towards changing the criminal situation in Trinidad and Tobago, in terms of alleviating this position that is taking place, this horrific situation, the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security had all the power without the assistance of government, of opposition. But they have failed. So much so that he's saying, you know, well, it would have been worse if they weren't there. I don't know how much worse it could get than how it is. So I'm really so interested. But I listen now, and I'm saying to both sides and what they present to us as alternatives for the future. And I'm not hearing from the incumbent who is there for 10 years a significant change. And I'm saying that what exists is not good enough. For those who feel it is good enough and who are content with what is transpiring in this society, then that's fine. But it is not good enough for me. And therefore, I have to chart some different course. And the political system is not fair. It is skewed to the benefit of those who have money. All over in these fake democracies, what they call in democracy, which is not really democracy. Whoever raised the most money, who are the most bank going into election, in many cases they win. Because they could fool people, they could buy out people, they could buy out the people who talking, they could buy out the influencers, they could buy the artists and the popular, and they could buy and they could buy and they could give you the image that we are the thing, and they could buy human beings. It have human beings right now under pressure. If they get $1, they're going that way. I don't know if they're going the way straight to the polls, if they will actually vote. This is the reality of this show, this game that they're playing with our lives. So forgive me if I don't come here to talk about wherever, who thief whenever, before, 10 years ago. Lock them up. I say, look how long. I would have been more satisfied with this government if I saw someone locked up. But it's not a thief don't lock up thief. They will use it for political mileage. And then everybody playing and the courts, spinning it around in the courts and yada, 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 yada. And I must be a fool and suffer. I must be a fool to give my time and my energy to that. 66,000 companies struck off the register. Promises of small businesses, small enterprises getting opportunities, AGC, this one, that one. Promises not fulfilled. Late money. You're getting paid late, so you can't afford, you have to drop out and you have to work for someone else. Let we get real now. Let we get real. There's never enough time. You all will have the opportunity on Monday as well, God willing. That we done for the day. Sorry.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Keep your money safe, let your money grow. Keep your money safe, let your money grow. You can trust, unit trust, a Trinbagonian institution for every single generation. You can trust, unit trust, let us show you how to be wealthy. Come to us, while you sleep you can grow your money. Unit trust.
Come party.
Hey, what's up? This is your boy Major Hype, and guess what? It's all about Tobago. We're getting ready for Tobago. That's right, it all takes place in Tobago, Scarborough, Pigeon Point. Everybody come out, let me have a good time and let me enjoy yourself now, man. It's all about comedy and party. It's gonna be a crazy.
Man, you see that I can't take with all you.
All right, let me do this.
Listen, not a party, it's party. Let's have a party. You don't listen.
You can't win everything, brother.
The teeth in me right through, but it's okay.
Comedy Party, Friday, 18th April, Fairways Tobago Plantation, featuring Caribbean King of Comedy, Major Hype and Friends. Friday, 18th April. Get your tickets at Cache stores nationwide. Fairways Restaurant and the Lounge Plantation. Jenny's on the Boulevard. All E-Cliff Eli locations. And online at islandetickets.com. Comedy show and party with all the top DJs.
Comedy and party. Have a party. We're going to have a party after the comedy.
Sponsored by Cache, top-ranking guest house and tours, and Jenny's on the Boulevard.
Port of Spain, Point Fortin. Come prepared to roll over laughing at Randy Glasgow Productions' Alternative International Comedy Festival. This Saturday, March 22nd, Winifred Atwell Auditorium, Queens Hall. Saturday, March 29th, Mahaika Oval Sporting Complex, Point Fortin. Both shows, 7 p.m. Featuring comedy star Damian Melville in concert.
Children, if anybody in this class stupid, stand up. Damien, you stupid?
No, sir.
So why you stand up?
So because it's just looking bad that you alone standing up.
With added drama, including Damian Melville as Dr. Rowley, the Drunken Saint, Tommy Joseph, Kenneth Superstar, Humorous King, Myron B. Get a fantastic $50 off all tickets while stock lasts. For more info, call the Alternative Comedy Festival hotline at 774-5555.
This election is about putting people in office who will seek your interest. It isn't about power or titles. It's about people who will get the job done. The UNC has never wavered in fighting the good fight for the dream that is Trinidad and Tobago. Because after all the noise and the smoke has cleared, in your quiet moments, you want what's best for yourself, your family, and your country.
When we win, everybody wins.
Oh God, call on the Lord. Call on Him. Pour on us, oh God. Oh God, as we pray. Oh.
You are invited to join Pastor Morris Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour all-night prayer every Friday evening, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Designed with you in mind, this ministry deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated and can be sent through the First Citizens Bank, account 795-222, in the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. For more information, please call 753-1113. May God richly bless you.
The light of your glory.
Port of Spain, Point Fortin. It's your turn to laugh like never before. Alternative International Comedy Festival featuring comedy star Damian Melville in concert.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
This is a call to the nation. One by one, let's do it together. Let's be the change we want to see. Standing strong through any weather. Follow the light of the PEP. Cause we could build a better place for every queen in every race. Together we could triumph over anything we face. So one by one, two by two, the PEP, we're here for you. Let's by two.
Save TNT. Vote PEP.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Another day above ground, I see. I'm focusing on the positives, because yesterday I was down. People do me wrong, but it's love in me heart when they try to take